Hi guys, welcome back.
Welcome back to I Hate Discord.
Hello.
Don't hate Discord, hate OBS.
Welcome back to I Hate the hate relationship going on between Discord and OBS over here.
Anyway, last we left off, we found out she's Makoto. Not Chizuru.
She's Makoto.
Makoto is a demon, and Kazuma wants her for something. I mean, we could probably guess what, but...
Because apparently female demons are so rare. Wow, they must have absolutely nobody to fucking make babies.
Yes, that's exactly the point.
Hey! I heard there was an intruder! So what in the hell were the captains doing? An intruder? I haven't heard anything. Are you sure that information is true? So what? Are you saying that I'm lying? I didn't say you were lying, but maybe you misunderstood something. If it really happened, I would be the first to know. Since I wasn't in the know, then it must be fake information. Huh. Is that so? But if it was true, you're going to pay for it!
Supposedly, they stormed to Hijikata's room, but he told them the incident of the intruder was a misunderstanding. The only people that were notified of Kazuma's infiltration were only a handful of the captains. So, in the eyes of the public, the infiltration of Nijo Castle didn't happen. Since then, once the rest of the men returned, there was a meeting among the captains. The subject of that meeting was the three men at Nijo Castle, Chikage Kazuma, Kyuju Amagiri, and Kyo Shiranui. They called themselves demons, and their previous encounters with the Shinsengumi suggested they were somehow involved with the Satsuma and Choshu. The Satsuma were the most powerful domain in the opposition domain. Opposition domain, a domain governed by one of the opposition daimyo. And the Choshu are publicly expressive of their dissent toward the shogunate. The Choshu are essentially enemies of the court. I didn't know how the three men are supposedly affiliated with the domains, but it was abundantly clear they are not to be dealt with carelessly. There was another problem, however. Why had they come for me? They said I was one of them, and knew about my family name and my kodachi. But how? My name is Makoto Yukimura. I am the daughter of my father and my mother. I'm a normal girl, nothing out of the ordinary. But who am I? June 1865. My Southern's coming out.
Wow.
My Southern's coming out. June 1865.
Four?
That should say 5. The compound was alive with noise and movement.
The compound's alive with the noise of movement.
Thought you've never seen The Sound of Music.
Even I know that much.
I passed several soldiers in the halls, each one of them excited about something. What was going on? Disgusted.
This is unconscionable. Never in all my...
Ito? Is something wrong?
Yes! Yes, I'd say everything is wrong! Why should I be made to bear my skin in the same room as those savages?
Excuse me.
Ito's explanation was useless. I was completely confused. Is there something going on today? Ito did his best to collect himself, shakily adjusting his hair and clothing before he spoke.
Someone claiming to be a doctor whom Kondo met on his visit to the Shogun has arrived. He is conducting physical examinations.
With a disdainful sniff, he glared pointedly across the hall, towards the area he just left.
What is a disdainful sniff?
I don't know. The men were getting physical checkups. That much I knew, given my particular situation. I'd been exempted by the captains, who also gave me special instructions to stay away.
That hairless monster! Oh, I mean, doctor. He demanded I remove my clothes in front of everyone. When I refused, as any decent man would, he tried to remove them himself! By force! And the rest of them just stood there! What sort of unconscious savages are they?
Savages seemed a bit strong. At any rate, perhaps I should go see just what a physical entailed. I was a doctor's daughter, after all. What's this doctor's name?
I believe he called himself Ryojun Matsumoto.
What? Wait, Dr. Matsumoto?
What's up with that reaction? Do you know him?
When I first came to Kyoto, my plan was to find Dr. Matsumoto. My father told me that I could rely on the man if I ever needed anything. Unfortunately, he was away on business when I'd arrived, and after that, I'm going to go watch the physical exams. There was no time to waste.
Oh my. So you want to see those savages? Well, there's no accounting for taste, I suppose.
Is this it? I could hear loud voices from inside. Oh! Oh. The scene froze me in place. Ah, Matsumoto. I need the sheet. He should be at the bottom somewhere. He should be... Yeah, Matsumoto. Sojiro.
Alright, next. At last! My turn! Check out these guns, Doctor. Ching. What do you think? You're looking at the amazing product of all those years of training.
Your body is fine, Shin. I think it's your head the doctor ought to be taking a look at.
What's that? You say you want me to beat the daylights out of you? You're fine, Shinpachi Nagakura. Now get. Next. Whoa, hold on there, Doc. You gotta get a better look at this. Mwah, mwah. No, you're quite fine, healthy as a horse, and I've seen quite enough, thank you.
What's with the chibi?
Done being weird.
You're holding up the line, Shinpachi. Get moving, okay? Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't really think you've had the time to fully examine. Don't you want to order a slice of this beefcake? I got 2 meaty servings and a plate right here and right here.
Oh my god. Barf.
A medical examination is for finding problems, not showing off. Now move.
wasn't difficult to see why Ito was desperate to escape. I couldn't imagine him as part of such a display. What should I do? I feel like it's rude to intrude, and I'm technically not supposed to be here.
Yukimura, what are you doing here? Is something the matter?
Oh, Yamazaki! Hello, I heard that Dr. Matsumoto was here. Yamazaki didn't look like he was in the mood to tolerate my snooping, so he went to the point.
I see. I take it you're here to speak with him, then? I have been briefed on everything regarding your situation. I think I know what you're doing.
Do you? Do you realize, really?
I know everything about you. However, the physicals are taking some time. No doubt thanks to a certain someone. Will you leave this to me?
Are you sure? Then yes, please do so.
Got it. Please excuse me.
Yamazaki went over to Dr. Matsumoto.
Pardon me, Dr. Matsumoto. Please allow me to look after those whose symptoms are minor. Why not take a little break? I'll take you up on your offer.
I waited outside for Dr. Matsumoto until he stepped out of the examination room. Excuse me?
Yes?
He looked at me for a moment, his eyes narrowed in curiosity.
I need to fetch some more medicine, so maybe it's a good time for a break. Can you give me a hand?
Oh, yes, of course! What luck! Dr. Matsumoto?
Ah, Doctor! Hello, Yukimura! Cock block.
Oh, hi, Kondo.
I see you found her already. Yes, thanks to you.
What? I was utterly lost. Dr. Matsumoto laid a gentle hand on my shoulder.
Makoto, as usual, the Shinsengumi are one step ahead of you. I came here... I came here to see you. Kondo told me that Kodo's daughter was staying with the Shinsengumi.
Oh, I see.
I knew Kodo and Matsumoto were acquaintances, so I thought perhaps Matsumoto might be able to give us a clue to his friend's whereabouts. I looked him up as soon as he returned to Kyoto.
The Shinsengumi had their own reasons for wanting my father found, but Dr. Matsumoto's appearance was still cause for joy. Thank you, both of you. They smiled. Dr. Matsumoto then explained he had just barely missed me when he left for Edo as I came to Kyoto. He'd received all my letters, but once he finally returned, he had no idea where I was and consequently couldn't find me.
I'm sorry that I missed you. You must have had a rough time of it. Is there anything you need?
No, I'm doing all right. So, Dr. Matsumoto, about my father. His face took on a grim cast, and before he even spoke, I knew what his response would be.
Unfortunately, I know no more about where Kodo might be than you do.
I see. The defeated tone of my voice surprised me. I suppose on some level I believe Dr. Matsumoto had some miraculous revelation about my father. Foolish of me, of course, but that didn't make the truth any less devastating. Kondo simply nodded.
I hear you've become involved with the, treatment. You know what I mean, don't you? Kodo's experiments.
Yes, I knew what he meant. The experiments my father conducted with some strange concoction that could make people go mad. Please tell me about it. I want to know everything my father was doing. He nodded.
Kodo was working with the Shinsengumi under orders from the Shogun to create what we call Furies. Furies are humans with 9 demonic strength and speed, and phenomenal healing abilities.
Furies, a creature with heightened speed and strength as well as the ability to heal from almost any wound. One can only be killed by a stab wound through the heart or having its head removed. Furies. This term seemed so familiar. Then I realized I overheard some of the men talking about it.
Don't jinx him, Soji. It's gonna look bad if officers start joining the Furies.
So Furies come from something you drink where any injuries could be cured.
The Furies that Heisuke spoke about are men to be pitied. The substance that transforms normal men into these Furies is called the Water of Life.
Water of Life, a substance imported from the West that turns those who drink it into Furies. Until refined by Kodo Yukimura, it was too toxic to use.
In China, they call it sentan. In short, it grants immortality.
Furies. Water of Life. It sounded more like something from a fairy tale rather than real life. But there was something in Dr. Matsumoto's tone of voice that said he was telling the truth. I've already heard about how it makes you strong and hard to kill. But doesn't it cause so much pain that it makes most people go crazy? And even if you survive that, then even the smell of blood can make you go crazy again. Dr. Matsumoto nodded slowly, then pinched the bridge of his nose with thumb and forefinger. He looked very tired.
So you know about that, too.
Bridge of his nose, babe. Up here.
Higher up.
So you know about that, too.
Yes. They were human, but not human. Perhaps they were almost entirely different now. I couldn't see how this Water of Life could ever be used for good. Even if it had healed Sonen's arm, he'd suffered greatly in the process. Why? It sounded more like a moan than a question. My father would never want to ruin the life of another. But because of what he'd done, people suffered, and some even died. Why was my father doing this? But it wasn't just my father. I was sure no one involved expected such a terrible outcome.
Perhaps that is why Kodo left. His conscience would no longer allow him to continue.
But the Water of Life was an opportunity given to us by the Shogun to help strengthen the Shinsengumi.
The doctor only shook his head.
It was an experiment, and it has failed. You should put it behind you. I'm sure the Shogunate has abandoned it as well.
Kondo frowned, perhaps unhappy that Dr. Matsumoto would question the Shogunate's original decision.
You've seen what happened to the men it was tested on, Kondo. It cannot be allowed to continue. This experiment is inhumane, and you know it.
Kondo gave a non-committal grunt and fell silent. I was sure Kondo knew just how dangerous it was to use the Water of Life, but the Shogunate had come to him with a request. Perhaps he couldn't refuse even if he wanted to. Silence fell like a thick blanket.
I understand that you are the Shogunate's designated doctor, but...
You are not one of us. An outsider has no right to object.
Sonnen? His face was pale as moonlight, as if he was a walking corpse. Is it okay for you to be up right now?
Shouldn't you be resting, Sonnen? You look pale.
Don't worry about me.
He bowed quickly, his mouth a compressed line, and turned to regard the doctor with a cool gaze.
We use this treatment effectively and at our own discretion.
It's dangerous and far too strong.
We have continued Kodo's research. I am, as you can see, living proof, so to speak.
As Sonnen did indeed prove, it was possible to drink the water of life and retain your sanity. Or whatever semblance of sanity it could be said he had. It just wasn't easy.
Perhaps you're right. But that could also mean that you're forcing your body in ways the eyes can't see.
I am perfectly healthy. I am perfectly healthy. Wait, what?
That should be the doctor. That line should be the doctor.
Can you hit the log?
That's Sonnen.
Mm-hmm.
That should be the doctor.
The doctor thinks the research should be discontinued entirely.
Oh, no. Alright. That's just weird.
Yeah.
I respectfully disagree. I am perfectly healthy. With continued research and modification, we will have many more successes and fewer casualties.
Do you plan on sacrificing more of your men in order to have more successes? Using your men to experiment with things that put them in danger comes off as a disregard for life. It's a disgrace.
The men who gave their lives are the foundation of our work. They did not die in vain.
But... Alright, that's enough from both of you. Why don't we discuss this some other time?
It was my private opinion that they were unlikely to agree, no matter what time they discussed the subject. But I felt it was polite to keep quiet.
Very well.
There seemed to be very little common ground between them, but both arguments had merit. Kondo had likely seen this as well, and he chose to end things before it got unpleasant.
If you insist, Kondo.
Sonnen's face betrayed nothing of what he might be thinking, even when the corner of his mouth quirked up into the beginning of a smile. He bowed quietly, and left as swiftly as he arrived.
So, how did the exams go? Yes. About that. This sure is a headache. What? Why is that? What do you mean, why? The amount of injured and sick warriors is nearly a third of your force.
What?
Impossible. It is not only possible, Kondo, it is the truth. What have you been doing to these poor men? Cuts, lacerations, bowel pain. The entire place is lousy. Lousy with, well, lice, for one. Seriously? I'm so embarrassed to hear this. I never would have imagined. First, you need to set aside a room dedicated to medical care. Sick men can be sent there. Second, you need to clean this place up. Otherwise, I won't be able to help you. Understood. Now get to it this instant.
And we're going to stop there for this episode.
Okay.
Well, it's time, isn't it?
5 minutes.
I mean, might as well.
Okay.
Alright, guys, we'll see you in the next episode where they clean up the compound.
Oh, we're going to actually see all of that.
Yes.
Yep, they're gonna fucking clean because they need to.
Maybe we can get more points with Hijikata by helping him clean.
You'll see.
Mhm.
In the meantime, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
out a new video. A huge thank you to Kyle Sheridan for donating and helping to keep our show going. Thank you so much for checking out today's episode. If you'd like to find out how I ended up in Kyoto, click the box on the left to check out last episode.
Or, if you'd like something a little different, head to that box on the right to check out Saving Throw, where the members of Revolutionary Productions play through ridiculous adventures in the world of Dungeons & Dragons. Seriously, go check it out. That's an order.
Hijikata? You can't just order the viewers around.
I can if they're all like you.